Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you towards the end of a classic thriller in LA, man. I can't say a whole lot of people had this kind of game going down to the wire on their bingo card. We're going to finish it out here with y'all live. Lakers are able to take a late lead here, up 96-91. We're going to hold on. We're going to say some prayers, some hopes for a Mavs winner here at the end. It ain't going to be easy, but I'll tell you what, it's been a hell of a game so far. No complaints from me. The Mavericks pushing this game all the way to the brink. And again, if you're a Mavs fan, what more could you ask for? We're going to get into everything here in just a little bit. All of the highlights of the game. We'll break down some of the box score. We'll give you our live reaction. But first, here right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Mavericks, and especially the Mavericks during the NBA season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Dallas Mavericks content. We are going to get back into this one here in a minute, man. We have a great ending in store. 96-91 coming out of the commercial break here. I feel like I'm going to be on a little bit of a lag as I finish this one out with y'all right now. We've got Dallas with the ball, 3 minutes, 50 seconds left. Kyrie just got such a sweet bounce. Shooters roll 94-96 now at this point. What a classic game this has been. I don't think a lot of people had this one coming. I mean, look, it was not, as far as the Vegas line, predicted to be a blowout per se, but I don't think a lot of people gave the Mavericks a chance in this one, and here they are. 196 now. Hachimura puts in a 2-foot dunk. Looks like Kyrie Irving responds, and we're going to have a very, very tight finish here. I really, really hope Mavs are able to pull this one out. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to be pretty much perfect down the stretch here, but Kyrie, can we just talk about him for a second? Kyrie Irving just doing everything. I had a little bit of a down game against Golden State on Sunday, but back today with the vengeance. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Mavs go down 102-96, by the way. LeBron puts in 2 points. Mavs are going a little bit cold. 1 minute and 47 seconds left. Lakers up by 6. It's going to take a miracle. They're going to have to get a stop and hit a 3-ball here pretty quick. But welcome, y'all. Glad that you are tuning in. We're going to give you a rapid reaction here, live reaction immediately following the game. Mavs are in LA. Luka playing his former team for the first time. Luka having himself quite a day. The points aren't there. The Mavs have pretty much double and triple teamed Luka at every single trip down the court. Some of the other numbers, though, pretty gaudy. 15 rebounds for Luka Doncic. That's got to tell you something, by the way, about the state of the Mavericks rebounding right now. I mean, literally nobody. Chapter House, what's good? Hey, appreciate that. One of my favorites. I pretty much feel like I've got a little bit of everything when it comes to Mavericks gear. This is one of my favorites, though. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. As I was saying, Luka, 15 rebounds. I don't want to take anything away from him. Don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm not trying to hate. But the Mavs pretty much have nobody down low at this point. And I mean nobody. So I'm not shocked Luka with 15 boards. LeBron James with 11. I mean, look, can you imagine what this team would have done to the Lakers tonight with Anthony Davis? I think that's got to be the big lead-in as you think about this game. I don't know how you feel great about this game as a Lakers fan. Maybe you can go ahead and blame the chemistry just to make yourself feel a little bit better. I personally don't know how you walk away from this game feeling great. If AD, Gafford, Lively play in this game, this is probably a 10-point blowout. I mean, this is a double-digit blowout with the Mavs at full strength. I have no idea how you walk away with any other conclusion. Lakers lucky, fortunate to get out of this one with a win. The Mavs, how many open shots did they miss trying to take the lead? I mean, the Mavs had numerous opportunities to take this one, and for whatever reason, just was not able to come through tonight. The Mavs got a little hot from 3 late. But look, PJ Washington, 0 for 9 tonight. How many nights are you going to get PJ going 0 for 9 from the field? Max Christie, maybe being back home, a little nervous, who knows, a little anxious. Not that the attention was on him tonight, but Christie goes 4 for 12. I mean, you just had terrible shooting performances from some Mavs players. And without Gafford, Lively, and AD, the fact that the Mavs are right here in the fourth quarter with this Lakers team that's essentially at full strength, I feel pretty good about the Mavs' chances moving forward. Lakers are going to get this win tonight. We're not even going to watch the final minute here. I'll keep up with it on the box score on the Gamecast on ESPN. Look, good for Luka getting a win. I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I kind of get like some still. I don't know quite how to phrase this. I'm going to think about it for a second. Like, it felt like Luka was faking it a little bit tonight. You know how it is when you're around your ex. You see him when you're out after a breakup. You're hurting on the inside. Not all is well. Luka, to me, kind of faking it a little bit tonight. Doing it up a little too much. I don't know. I feel like this win, maybe it's super fulfilling for him, but he's got to know deep down inside, they don't have AD. They don't have Gafford. They don't have D Live. They don't have a full strength team right now. And it basically took 4 quarters to get the win. Kyrie, by the way, and 1. Luka with the foul. Mavs are going to probably pull it within 6 here. 56 seconds left. Not totally out of it. Not totally out of it here. It's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Oklahoma City Thunder last night type miracle. Did y'all see that? The Thunder up 22 with 10 minutes to go. Reminded me of when the Mavs, if y'all remember last year, when the Mavs went on that 30-0 run and stunned Oklahoma City. I was getting shades of that game from last year with the Mavs. Kyrie, by the way, puts in the free throw on the and one. Going to try and get a stop here, I'd imagine. Make it a 3-point game with a 3. We'll see what the Mavericks can do. 56 seconds remain. Yeah, PJ, by the way, I know, look, it's tough. The Mavs got 0 points tonight from PJ Washington. You got 0 points from PJ. You're not going to do a whole lot. It's crazy to me. You got 0 from PJ. Max Christie, probably his worst game as a Maverick. I mean, Christie is always good for 15, maybe 20, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, look, Christie was off his game tonight. Lakers lucky to get out of this one, and you cannot feel that great. You're JJ Redick. I mean, look, even Luka and LeBron, at this point, you barely beat a incredibly hobbled Dallas Mavericks team. I can't even believe you're a Lakers fan and you're feeling awesome after this game. Mavs ain't making it past the Suns. Come on now. You don't have to be stupid online. It's okay not to hit enter or hit send on the keyboard. You really don't have to. This Mavericks team, fully healthy, would drill the Phoenix Suns. Like, come on now. Would drill the Phoenix Suns. This is a team that I would probably put ahead of the Lakers at this point. When the Mavericks are fully healthy, they're going to beat this Lakers team, and all of the positivity maybe that you take away from a Lakers win today, my goodness. How do you not? Like, give me the argument that this Lakers team beats a fully healthy Dallas Mavericks team. Just give me the argument. You don't think Anthony Davis is worth the 8 points they lost by? Like, please, give me the argument of why a fully healthy Dallas Mavericks team loses to the Lakers. Seriously, I don't really have any good reason that I can offer. I mean, I don't really see any potential for the Lakers in a 7-game series to beat Dallas when they're fully healthy. I mean, still, tonight you needed until 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left in the game to get past a Dallas Mavericks team that is crazy depleted. My goodness. All right, let me get to some comments here. I'm going to try and work through the rest of the game. Mavericks dropped this one 107-99. Off game for a lot of Mavs tonight. Kyrie went off 35 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Klay Thompson had him a game. I thought we were about to see one of those Klay Thompson heaters where he was just going to go ahead and win this game for Dallas. It just wasn't meant to be, but I truly thought when Klay tied the game that we were about to witness Mavs going up by 6, Klay just hitting 4 or 5 threes in a row, and Dallas stealing one in LA. Really, really thought that was coming when Klay started heating up. I really, really love what the Mavericks came in and did tonight in LA. This team fights. That's the one thing I don't think anybody can take away from Dallas. You've seen them in nearly every game. I think Golden State, and then Philadelphia. Probably the 2 games that I would consider the ones that they totally bombed since the Luka trade. Can't really think of a whole lot of other games that this Dallas Mavericks unit post Luka Doncic trade have mailed in. I mean, you have seen them come through with some gritty wins. You've seen them fight hard to the finish, pushing teams to the break. Again, I would love to hear the Lakers fans that want to champion this win like it was something special. If anything, I think you are worried about how this team is going to fare against the Mavericks when fully healthy. I mean, Luka Doncic isn't getting 15 rebounds with Anthony Davis in the paint. LeBron is not getting 11 rebounds with Lively, Gafford, and Anthony Davis in the paint. It's just not going to happen. So for me, the defense is only going to get better, and the offense is only going to get better in a game versus the Lakers. I would love to hear the breakdown of how this is a positive win for LA. Maybe it's just a one-off, but I don't see Anthony Davis, Gaff, D-Live fully healthy. And then you add in, again, PJ with the incredible off game that he had today. I mean, incredibly bad. I feel really positive about the loss today. I don't think you can take away a whole lot from Dallas. The ball just wasn't going through the hoop tonight. They had plenty of open looks. I mean, the Lakers defensively, a lot of issues. And clearly, Luka's a part of that. We know that well as Dallas Mavericks fans. It's about the one flaw in Luka's game that he has. The Mavs got any shot they wanted tonight. You watch the game from start to finish. You were seeing a lot of bricks. You were seeing a lot of missed shots wide open. The ball just didn't fall in the hoop tonight for Dallas. But it's clear they can do just about anything they want with this Lakers team. And when you get AD and when you get D-Live in the paint, the Lakers are going to have a lot more difficult time getting to the rim and scoring easy buckets. I think that the Mavs are just going to have the health problem. That's really all I see stopping them from going deep into the playoffs. Are they going to have Anthony Davis fully healthy? Is D-Live, Gaff, are they all going to be fully healthy? If they are, I love their chances in the playoffs. Love it. I think right now, a lot of people sleeping on Dallas. They've just quietly been winning ball games, quietly been getting it done night after night. Tonight, I know they take the L, but you got to feel good if you're a Dallas fan and you're still actually cheering for the team. You're not pretending to be a Lakers fan, saying you're a Luka fan. I don't know. For me, I don't know how you can cheer for the Lakers if you're a Mavs fan. I see a lot on social media. I'm a Luka fan, and I'm watching all the Lakers games this year. Screw that. Like, can I just be straight up? Forget that. I'm not trying to be a Lakers fan. I will always love Luka Doncic and what he did for the Dallas Mavericks and the ride that he took us on the past 7 years. I'm not cheering for the Lakers. Are you even a real fan if you're cheering for the Lakers? I've said this so many times on nearly every Mavs show. It will just frustrate me to no end. The Mavs fans cheering for LA now. I'm sorry. I'll always hate the Lakers. It doesn't matter if Luka's on the team. Even if the Mavs and the Lakers are playing, I don't cheer for Luka to do well. I don't cheer for Luka to get a triple-double against the Mavs. And I won't cheer for Luka to do well the rest of the season. I don't hate him. I wish him well, but I don't wish him to dominate the Mavericks when they play each other. Neither do I hope the Lakers go far into the playoffs or that Luka has a lot of success in LA. Like, I don't know. Is there anybody, any diehard that really feels that way? We want to watch Luka hoist a trophy? Just say you're not a fan. That would be a lot more respectable. If you want to watch Luka Doncic hoist a trophy for LA, you're not a fan. Please go be a Lakers fan. And then let the Lakers fans make fun of you. Like I saw on social media throughout this week, all the Lakers fans giving the new Lakers fans, aka former Mavs fans, a hard time trying to act like they're experts about LA basketball now. Don't embarrass yourself. If you're a Dallas fan, stick with it. Stay the course. I didn't love the Luka trade. I've said that to y'all so many times. I didn't love the trade. Wouldn't have made it myself. But I'm not going to sit around and cry about it. It's on to the next thing, on to the next game. I'm actually really excited for what this Mavs team can do this year. I'm always going to be glass half full, not into the doom and gloom, pouting day after day about the Luka trade that some Mavs fans are on. And for me, it really does no good to stew in it. Let's see what we got with Anthony Davis. I think AD is a great guy, great player. I know he's dealing with some health issues right now. Love what I'm seeing with Max Christie. There's a lot to be excited about. The big thing is going to be Kyrie. And by the way, Kyrie, we talked about his line tonight. Kyrie absolutely went off. I mean, he has been incredible for the Mavs since losing Luka. 35, 7, and then 4 assists. Woo. 5 for 11 from three-point land. Love what I'm getting from Kyrie. 40 minutes tonight. Kyrie was on one. Look, I'm looking at some of the plus minuses. Klay Thompson, minus 20. I don't know how much longer Klay Thompson is going to start with the Dallas Mavericks. And I don't know what Nico sold him on when he first signed here. I really don't know how much longer, especially when AD gets back. I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to continue to start Klay. Like at this point, Max Christie should be starting over Klay Thompson. You're getting a lot more with Max Christie. He didn't have a great game tonight, but you're getting a lot more with Max than you're getting with Klay. I absolutely think that Klay Thompson's days as a starter may be numbered unless he has some handshake deal with Nico and J Kidd that he is just going to be starting forever, starting the rest of the season, no matter how bad he plays. But I think Klay Thompson has got a limited amount of games left as a starter at this point. I think Max Christie has got to be the guy that starts taking over in that role, in the shooting guard role. You've got, obviously, Kyrie. You've got Max Christie. You've got PJ. And then you've got Lively and you've got AD. I think that's the starting 5. Maybe you bring Lively off the bench and you start Gafford, but that's the starting 5 right there. Kyrie, Max Christie, PJ Washington, AD, and then either Gafford or Lively. I don't see Klay continuing to fit into the starting rotation. I don't know how happy he's going to be about that. I don't know if it's going to cause drama. I hope not. But I don't know how you continue to let Klay Thompson start over Max Christie. Unless you're just doing the formality thing where you're trying not to hurt Klay's feelings. So you're going to start him, but Max is going to get more minutes eventually. And that is kind of, I think, how it's worked in some games. Klay went 30 minutes tonight. But I think Max Christie absolutely deserves to be starting over Klay Thompson at this point. You're getting a lot more defensively from Max Christie. I love that they gave Max Christie Luka. I think that tells you everything that you need to know about how the Dallas Mavericks feel about Max Christie at this point. They put him on Luka very first possession, and I actually thought Max did a really good job on Luka defending him one-on-one. Look, you're not going to win that battle 9 times out of 10. Luka is going to get his, although the Mavs hold him under 20 points tonight. Under 20 points. I mean, he goes off in other areas, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, 19 points for Luka. Max Christie, I thought, did a phenomenal job one-on-one on Doncic. And he needs to be in the starting rotation. And if you're not going to start him because you promised Klay a starting role on the team when he signed here, Max Christie better be 6th man of the year, getting more minutes than Klay. All right, we keep going. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Let's go. Yes, sir. Cowboys fan as well. All of really the teams from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where I grew up. So Texas Rangers baseball, we'll be doing a live tomorrow going through spring training so far for the Texas Rangers. We also talk a little Cowboys on the show and Texas Longhorns, Dallas Mavericks, of course. So, yes, a little bit of everything, mostly DFW sports, though. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Griff, what's good, buddy? If you're still hanging out, appreciate you. Yeah, Zach, same. I'm a little surprised Luka wasn't able to get a little bit more. He did have a 3 taken away. Double team, step back. He was out of bounds. The left or right foot, back foot was out of bounds, and they took the 3 away from him. Otherwise, he would have gotten over 20 tonight. Luka continues to look better as a Laker. He really does. And we were reminded of everything we loved about Luka tonight. Some of the passing, some of the flair, the attitude, the joy, all the smiles, all that stuff. The technical foul, of course. We got to throw that one in there. It was pretty classic Luka tonight, honestly, beyond maybe the 30-piece. Luka Doncic is going to continue to get better in his role with the Lakers. And I really do feel like the Lakers are definitely going to be a team to be reckoned with. I don't think that they are pushovers. I know we're doing a little bit of trash talking at the beginning of the show. I still say in a 7-game series, Mavs fully healthy, Lakers fully healthy, I don't see the Mavs losing. They're only going to get better defensively. And with essentially Kyrie and a bunch of role players, you got any shot you wanted tonight. I mean, Max Christie driving it into the paint. Obviously, there were some contested shots. AD is going to dominate Jackson Hayes. Derek Lively is going to dominate Jackson Hayes in the paint. I mean, look, LeBron and Luka are going to get theirs offensively. It's going to be tough to slow them down. I don't think anybody on the Lakers is stopping AD. Period. Nobody is stopping AD on the Lakers. The best that they can throw at AD is Jackson Hayes. Maybe you could put LeBron on and it would be a little bit of a better situation. I don't know. But look, there's nobody that can guard AD on the Lakers. And the Mavs tonight with Kyrie and a bunch of role players got any open shot they wanted. So I feel great about the Mavs' chances when they are fully healthy. I've loved everything I've seen from this team. Everything that I've seen from this team. A couple of things. You ain't see us guard Jokic the other night. Look, Jokic, for me, it didn't look like, and I watched probably a few quarters in that game. Yes, obviously, Jokic had some contested shots. Didn't feel like Jokic had a ton of touches in that game. And we can go back and look at the box score. I don't want to be talking just out of nowhere, but for me, it didn't feel like they were trying to make Jokic a scorer in that game. I don't know what their game plan was. I'm not a Denver Nuggets fan, but didn't feel like Jokic was the primary guy in that one at that point. Yeah, easily. Let's see, Jaden. Yeah, wait till we healthy. Easily top 3. I think right now it's hard to put the Mavs over some of the top teams in the West, but nobody really scares me in the West. The Mavs have Oklahoma City's number. Even when they had no Luka and just Kyrie, they beat Oklahoma City about a month ago. I don't think the Mavs are scared of Oklahoma City at all. Denver, I don't think scares you. You went into LA tonight and you could have won the game with 2 minutes left and you didn't have 3 of your better players in D-Live, Gaff, and AD. I just don't know how you don't feel like you are one of the top teams in the West when fully healthy based on some of the results you've been getting. Comparing Hayes to Lively is crazy, bro. You're going to have to go in on that a little bit more. I don't know who is rating Jackson Hayes over Derek Lively when healthy. I don't really know what you're watching if that's the case. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way on the fly. I really don't know who with the basketball brain is rating Jackson Hayes over Derek Lively. That's crazy to me. But you do you. Someone said that in the chat? Ooh. Okay, yeah. You just don't know D-Live, I guess. You only watch Jackson Hayes and Laker basketball if you think that D-Live is subpar to Jackson Hayes. D-Live is probably one of the best paint defenders in the league when healthy. Yeah, the offensive game, I think, needs a little bit of work, which is scary because D-Live can put up points as well. I mean, dude is essentially a walking double-double if you give him minutes. He's going to rebound the ball, and he's going to score points in the paint. He's still getting better as the offensive game. D-Live would dominate Jackson Hayes. I mean, believe whatever you want. Jackson Hayes is not going to do well against any of the Mavs bigs. Gafford, better than Hayes. Lively, better than Hayes. AD would school Jackson Hayes. There's nobody that the Mavericks have down low that is going to be able to be guarded by the Lakers. Say whatever you want about the Jokic game. I know that some people are going to that. I saw a couple of those comments in the chat. They were not trying to make Jokic a scorer in that game. And when I'm looking at the box score here, I'm going to try and pull it up. Computer's going a little bit slow tonight. Let me see if I can pull it up. How many shots Jokic took. Let's see what's good. Jokic, 19 assists tonight. My goodness. 19 assists. Okay. Dude, box score for the Nuggets-Lakers game. Let's check this out. So Jokic in that game shot it 7 times. Like, again, maybe you could say he was guarded well if you want to feel better about that argument that the Lakers were able to shut down Jokic. The dude wasn't shooting more than 7 times. He had 7 shots in the game. Meanwhile, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray each took about 15 apiece. Clearly, the game plan was not Jokic is going to score at will and demand the ball every single time. That's not really his game anyways. So for me, I don't think that the Jokic game from a couple nights ago is that meaningful when we're talking about the Lakers' ability to guard any of the Mavs centers. Jokic didn't want the ball. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too watching it. I appreciate that comment. I would totally agree. It didn't look like watching that game. We're talking about Lakers against the Nuggets. Somebody was pushing back on my comment that the Lakers don't have anybody that can guard AD or really D-Live or Gafford for that matter. I don't know who you plan on putting up against AD to try and slow him down. Jackson Hayes is not it. And look, for anybody that's thinking Jackson Hayes and just shut down Jokic completely, I would submit that wasn't really the game plan. Jokic scoring at will. It's not like he went up against Jackson Hayes 10 times and got stopped every time. Dude really wasn't even trying to shoot or score the ball. Again, as a couple of y'all commented, didn't even look like he really wanted the ball that much in that game. He was passing it off a lot. Gordon, Porter Jr., and Murray were taking a ton of shots in that game. But hey, keep believing the delusion that Jackson Hayes is going to shut down the Mavs centers. You do you. All day, what's good? Healthy squad, Mavs, easy win. There's no other takeaway tonight. I am going to thoroughly enjoy the talking heads that are trying to draw positives from the Lakers. You should be ripping the Lakers apart right now. You could barely beat Dallas. You had to go 46 minutes with Kyrie Irving and role players to get this win tonight. Like, you had to go 46 minutes tonight with Kyrie Irving and a bunch of role players to get this done. Look, I don't know how you take the positives away. Just admit you didn't watch the game because it was Rui and Vando guarding Jokic. Look, somebody was talking about Jackson Hayes guarding him. I don't know what the breakdown was. Neither do I care. I'm not a Lakers fan or a Nuggets fan, so I don't need to be an expert in any of those games. So you're right. I don't care about the Lakers or the Nuggets that much. I'm not trying to break down every single one of those games. But again, Jokic took 7 shots. You could say that they were doubling him. That's not shutting him down, in my opinion. That's you making a business decision. Yeah, we're just going to double and triple team Jokic. Anybody can do that. That doesn't mean that they have somebody that can stop him. So 7 shots, 2 for 7 against the Lakers that night was Jokic. Again, I'm not trying to sit here and pretend that any of those guys, Rui, Vanderbilt, I don't think a 2 for 7 performance means you shut Jokic down. Anybody can double. Anybody can triple team. Anybody can force other players on the team to take shots. That's what the Mavericks did with Luka tonight. Why do you think Luka didn't go off for 30 or 40? I don't think it was because that the Mavericks shut Luka down. This is really a perfect comparison. Like, you didn't shut Luka down tonight. You made a business decision to not let him shoot the ball. You double and triple team Luka, and he's got to pass it. He can force it, absolutely. One-on-one, there's nobody on the Dallas Mavericks that can stop Luka Doncic. Nobody. You can do things defensively to make him give up the ball, just like you can do with Jokic, right? You can have somebody in front of him, then you can have somebody close out as he's backing down, and he's got to kick the ball out to somebody. One-on-one, nobody on the Lakers can guard Jokic. I don't think that is accurate at all, but you believe whatever fantasy you need to. All right, here we go. We keep going. He misses Luka so much, it's wild. If you want to think that, I guess, but I'm not sitting here trying to convince anybody. Think whatever you want. Luka shot 17 times. Well, he is a high-volume shooter. He is a guy that's going to shoot that much anyways. Luka tonight, let's see, what was he? 6 for 17. Look, Max Christie actually played Luka pretty well, but I'm not going to sit here and say Max Christie is the Luka stopper just because Luka had a 6 for 17 night. Like, Max Christie, I thought, played a great game against Luka. I'm not sitting here proclaiming Max as the Luka stopper. Come on now. There was a really, I'm seeing somebody commenting about Nico. Nico is your daddy. I was actually on X and I was scrolling through. There is a really cold pic that somebody got of Luka. I don't know if he was staring down Nico, but it's like Luka in the foreground and then Nico is in the background. It's a cold picture. If you can find it on social media, that was pretty great. I can't even deny it. That was a cold photo, whoever got that shot. Mavs shot horrible in the first half, and we were still in it. Totally. Again, Lakers fans, you won. I guess feel good about that. It took you 46 minutes to beat Kyrie Irving and role players. There's not a whole lot else to be said. LeBron was amazing. 24 PRA in the fourth, saved every parlay. I did notice he was a little bit low. Look, LBJ is great. I love LeBron. I do definitely respect the Lakers and the game that they have and the players that they have. Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Make no mistake, don't get it twisted. We're not sitting around here trying to say the Lakers are a bunch of scrubs that could barely beat the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavs, I think, have a lot of heart, play really tough, and you got to give J. Kidd a lot of credit. I said this last week when I did a Mavs show. I know that J. Kidd is a polarizing figure in Mavericks Nation. I think you got to give J. Kidd a lot of credit for how this team has been playing without Luka. There's only been 2 games that they really haven't been in it. The Sixers game, which was literally right after the trade, and then the Golden State game. Golden State game, they just came out flat, and that game was really never competitive. Every other game has either been a win or a really competitive loss. They struggled this game, but they also blew out Knicks, Celtics, and Clippers with no AD. Regular season is tough. I will say that. Josh, good point. Regular season's tough. You can really blow up regular season wins. I mean, look, on the same token, Josh, on the same token, you could say they lost to the Utah Jazz. They lost to the Hornets, the Lakers did, in recent games. So I think this is a Lakers team that's definitely still finding their footing. And I don't think that this is a bad team or a mid team. I think the Lakers are one of the better teams in the league. But I think the fact that the Mavericks push them at home, 2 minutes left, and the Mavs have a chance to win the game, take the lead. It was a tie game with what? I'd have to go back. Maybe it wasn't 2 minutes. Maybe it was 3. I know that we like to get a little technical and picky in the comment sections at times here. So let's go to the fourth quarter. So it was with, let's see, where is it? It was 1. Where are we at? 90. It was 92 or 91 or 91. Yeah, it was 91 all. Mavs had a chance to go down. Klay Thompson missed a three-pointer. 5 minutes left. Then LeBron gets fouled, and the Lakers never gave the lead back after that. Kyrie made it 96-94 with a three. That was with 3:49 left. 2-point game with 3:49 left. Then you had 96-100 with 2:45 left. It's a 4-point game with 2:45 left. I feel pretty good about that without having three of our best players. 60-1 Mavs to win it all once AD back healthy as possible. Look, I already jumped on Mavs futures when they were at an all-time low. So I don't know if the Mavs are going to win it all this year. I don't want anybody to think I'm proclaiming that, but there is great value in the Mavs. Say whatever you want. You can be a hater if you want to, but there's great value in the Mavs, betting them to win it all. I think they match up really well against quite a few teams in the West. I think Boston is going to be tough for anybody. So I don't know if they're going to get past Boston. I think they probably do have a better shot at beating Boston as currently constructed, despite not having Luka. Luka, for all the points and stats he put up in the Boston series, Luka's defense was a big reason why they lost. Also, Kyrie Irving going completely cold. He was not himself in that Boston series. I don't think you can just blame Luka's defense, but I will say Boston's just going to be tough for, I think, any team to get past. When they are clicking, to me, they are head and shoulders above a lot of teams in the NBA. But I think there's great value on the Mavs. Couldn't agree more. I think the Mavs will be real good next year. It's hard to win a chip mid-season, making big changes. Agreed. That's why I don't think the Lakers are going to win it all this year. Next year could be a big year. I think the Mavs really are going to have to worry about Kyrie. Kyrie can opt out after this year. He is probably going to be the most sought-after free agent. The Mavs have a lot going for them. Kyrie, good relationship with Nico, great relationship with AD. I would like to think Kyrie is going to hang around. I mean, you could, I guess, go to LA. Wouldn't that be something? Kyrie opts out, goes to LA, plays with LeBron and Luka. That'd be something else. But you kind of feel like Kai had a chance to do that and didn't, instead signed with the Mavs. I would really be surprised if Kyrie doesn't come back. That would obviously be epic levels of meltdown for me. If you lose Kyrie, it's not completely done, but you're no longer a title contender in any way, shape, or form if you don't have Kyrie Irving and you're not going to replace him with anybody else. So that to me is the biggest what if for the Dallas Mavericks right now. Kyrie potentially opting out. Hopefully they can get him on another maybe 3, maybe 4-year deal. Kyrie is going to be sought after. I think there's going to be a lot of teams interested in him. Mavs got him when the stock was low. There was a lot of drama in Brooklyn, and they were able to get him to sign a nice deal with the team, extending him for a couple of seasons. He's continued to raise his stock. I think Kyrie is definitely going to have his suitors. I think the Mavs have a lot going for them, though, to keep him. AD fits so well with this Mavs system, they'll be scary if he finds a way to stay healthy. Appreciate that, Bad Cats. I totally agree. I think AD, look, game one, right? Game one, AD, that transition was seamless. AD looked like he had been there the entire season when we played the Rockets. Anybody that watched that game, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, that looked like he had been there all season long. I mean, that was totally smooth. Everything going great till the injury, of course. If AD can stay healthy, the Mavs are going to be a scary team in the playoffs. I don't think there's a lot of teams looking forward to playing Dallas. I don't think Dallas is going to be scared of really anybody in the West. I think Boston is about the only team you fear. I don't think you fear OKC. Mavs have a mental advantage over them. OKC shrinks whenever they play Dallas. It feels like. We talked about the 30-0 game last year when the Mavs went on a 30-0 run against the Thunder and ended up winning that game. We talked about last month or a couple months ago. It was either in December or January when the Mavs, with just Kyrie, no Luka, were able to beat the Thunder. I think the Mavs are in the Thunder's head. Beyond that, then you've got the Nuggets, who are not a great defensive team. I think that AD has shown that he can hang with Jokic. Jokic absolutely has had his way against AD at times, but the Mavs have an extremely formidable tandem with AD and Gaffer Lively. I really like the Mavs' chances against the Nuggets. There's really nobody in the West that the Mavs could get matched up with that I would really be worried about if they are fully healthy. Now, if you don't have AD and it's just Kyrie and Lively or Gafford, don't feel as great about those chances. But if they have all three of those big men, Kyrie looking good, Christie continuing to develop, what teams are you really scared of? Like, seriously, what teams? AD has never shown that he can hang with Joker. I would disagree with that totally. You could go back to plenty of games, Nuggets, Lakers, playoffs, regular season, where AD has been able to put up points against Denver. I don't think every time they go up against each other, AD is limited. I think he's gone off multiple times against the Nuggets over the course of his career, regular season and playoffs. Appreciate all the people that have followed, by the way. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Me keep going. It was tied with 5 minutes left. Yeah. I'm catching up a little bit here. Appreciate all y'all. When is AD coming back? I think they're going to reevaluate him at the very beginning of March. Like, they're reevaluating him in like 5 or 6 days. And then after that, I would imagine it's probably going to be within a couple of weeks. So my guess is he's back mid-March. I really don't know if there's any good sourcing on that, but what I've been reading is he's probably going to need a couple more weeks after the 2-week reevaluation period, which is coming to an end at the beginning of March. So my guess is going to be mid-March, maybe around the middle of the month, getting into the back end, the back nine of March as well. So we'll see. Let's look at the Mavs schedule and see what they've got coming up. They've got the Hornets on Thursday. Hornets obviously beat a couple of teams along the way. They beat the Warriors recently. And I think, who else? No, my bad. I had the Mavs schedule up. Hornets last 5. Lost to Sacramento, Portland, Denver. They beat the Lakers. That's right, 100-97, but they're on a 3-game skid right now. And none of those games have been particularly close. So Mavs should get a win back at home on Thursday against the Hornets. Knock on wood. But after that, we'll go to the Mavs schedule and we'll kind of give a little bit of an outlook here. So you got Hornets on Thursday. After Hornets, then you go play Milwaukee. Actually, Milwaukee's coming to Dallas. Sacramento is coming back to Dallas. Milwaukee at Milwaukee, Wednesday, March 5th. Memphis, Phoenix, San Antonio back-to-back March 10th and 12th. At Houston, at Philadelphia, at Indiana. Okay, so some winnable games really there down the line. I would say the Mavs could easily over the next 10 games, I think 7-3, very attainable. Hard to know exactly what's going to happen in some of these. The NBA can be a crazy sport, but I think Mavs can easily win 7 out of the next 10 looking at the schedule, even without AD. Maybe we get AD back for like the Indiana game, March 19th. Maybe we get him back for the game against Philadelphia that's going to be on ABC on Sunday, March 16th. That'd be great. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be really cautious with AD. What benefit is it to rush him back at this point? To me, there's no benefit. I would rather them go ahead and keep him out as long as needed. They're showing that they can win games without him. Lively, I don't think is going to be back till April. So he might get like 5 tune-up games under his belt, maybe less than that. He might only get 2 or 3 tune-up games before the playoffs. Last regular season game is on the April 13th. So I don't know. I think it's probably pretty low chance that D-Live gets more than 3 or 4 games regular season. We'll see what's going on with Gafford. I hope that they can get him back for playoffs as well. If you just have one of those guys, that would go a long way. Gafford or Lively and AD, if you can just have one of those two, Gaff or D-Live, I feel pretty good. But we'll see what they say when AD gets reevaluated here in about a week's time. We keep going. Yeah, again, well, good comment here. Almighty T, what's good? it is the NBA. Anything can happen. I don't really, from night to night, ever think that a game is totally going to be one-sided either way. It could be a really great game. It could be a blowout one way or the other. It is the NBA. It can be a crazy league in that way. The Utah Jazz can knock off the Lakers right after getting the absolute crap kicked out of them the night before. The Hornets can go into LA and beat Los Angeles. Like, it happens. It does. But looking at the schedule, I feel pretty good about what the Mavs have going on down the stretch. And you look at the Mavs in their last, in their last 8 games, 5-3. And in their games without AD, you're 3-3, treading water. I don't think a whole lot of people can be mad at that. Treading water, 3-3 in games without AD. Not a lot to complain about there. Keep going. I'll keep going comments as long as we got them, and then we'll start winding things down. I just don't know how Nico Harrison is not gone yet. Look, if the Mavs do well this year, and shoot, if the Mavs win a championship, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to say about Nico Harrison. I know that is getting ahead of ourselves, not proclaiming that by any means, but look, Nico, definitely not ever going to be a fan favorite. I wouldn't have traded Luka, but I am a fan that is going to get on board, and I am going to try and support the team regardless of who's wearing the jerseys. It's always been about the Dallas Mavs for me. Luka or no Luka, still a fan. Miss Luka. Wish that they would have figured out a way to make it work with him. And we've talked a lot about everything that went on with Luka and Nico behind the scenes. We don't need to rehash all that. But I don't think Nico is going to be very popular ever around Dallas, even if they do win a championship. Privately, he's going to have a lot more, I think, cred. And I don't think you're going to be able to knock on him if he wins a championship. But that's a big if. That's definitely a big if. We keep going. Would y'all mind giving us Lively? That would help. D-Live is great. Love D-Live. The injuries have been crazy for Dallas this year. Just crazy. I often think about if this team could have been fully healthy for a majority of their games, what would their record be right now? I think they're 31-28 now. You could easily see them having a record similar to the Lakers, maybe even pushing 40 wins at this point. Like, I could see a 40-21, or I could see a 40-19. They played, 59 games? I could see a 40-19. If they would have been healthy all season long, the Mavs have just dealt with crazy, ungodly amounts of injuries. I can't agree more. I'm tired of all the injuries. Really am. It feels like it's like every Dallas or DFW sports team. Like the Rangers last year dealt with a ton of injuries. The Mavs this year have dealt with a ton of injuries. Just hope we can get a stretch of like good health for everybody involved, please. Please. All right, y'all. Mavs definitely improved as a team with the trade, but their window seems small to win. I think that is a really great way to sum it up. Like, the Mavs improved for this year. I don't know how you could really argue otherwise. They have guys that can score. Kyrie and AD is enough scoring power. And then you add in Clay potentially hitting his shots. You add in Max Christie putting in 15 plus a game. PJ can go off occasionally. Like, the Mavs have enough scoring power with a healthy AD, Kyrie, Clay. Their starting 5 is good enough to win games, scoring the basketball. Where you lacked was defense. And Luka was a liability in that way. You always had to hide Luka. You always had to make up for the defense that you weren't getting with Luka Doncic. So I do understand the trade in the short term. It is the long-term thing. The long-term play, definitely not there. You've got a much smaller window with AD and Kyrie. God forbid Kyrie opts out and goes somewhere else after this season. That is worst nightmare confirmed. I've got to think the Mavs feel pretty good about re-signing Kyrie, even if he opts out. I don't know why you make the Luka trade otherwise. There's no guarantees in life, but I don't know why you would even entertain the Luka trade if you didn't have a pretty firm yes from Kyrie that he wants to be around long term. Got a pretty good relationship, obviously, with Nico Harrison. Kyrie does. Anything can happen, and it's the NBA. Like, I don't think that anything's promised, but I find it really hard to believe that the Mavs would trade Luka Doncic without a behind-the-scenes handshake type agreement from Kyrie that he's locked in fairly long-term. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I don't quite have that one right, but it would shock me if Kyrie ended up leaving. They're good, but not consistent enough. I don't really even know if we've seen the Mavs at full health enough times to make that comment of whether they're consistent or not. Like right now, you're right. They aren't consistent enough. You've seen the offensive struggles rear its ugly head against Golden State on Sunday, tonight as well. The Mavs are challenged. They are challenged defensively, no doubt. Absolutely. So I think for me, you absolutely need to see a little bit more gameplay from everybody involved in order to make a judgment on how consistent this team is. All right, we keep going. Eric, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to keep on rolling. Let me close up with some comments, and then we are going to call it a night. We'll be back tomorrow night for Rangers, but I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anybody. We'll go through Rangers spring training, any Rangers news that's out there. Looking forward to that show as well. Mav Ultra, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate all the comments tonight. I really wanted the Mavs to win this game. I really was not going to be surprised at all if they ended up pulling it out. I really wanted the Mavs to win this game, but I can't complain with the result. Close game. Could have easily won it. You had an opportunity to go up 3. Klay Thompson shooting a 3 ball would have put the Mavs up by 3 with about 4 or 5 minutes left. The Mavs had so many chances to take the lead in this game, could just never get that. I don't want to say put away, but could never get that go-ahead bucket tonight. It's really all it came down to. We keep rolling. Future is gone. Yeah, the future is going to be interesting. Mavs are going to have to develop some of the guys they got. What can Max Christie turn into? I don't think Max Christie is ever going to get to Luka levels, but what can Max Christie turn into? He's 22 years old. What's Max Christie's ceiling? That's an interesting question for me. I haven't decided on it yet. I'd like to see Max Christie ball out a little bit more before I make a final judgment, but what's his ceiling? I think Max Christie could be a guy that gets you over 20 a game if you allow him to be a starter and develop a little bit more as an NBA player. The Lakers, he was showing signs of that. Kind of felt a little bit like a throwaway piece in that Luka trade, but Max Christie's legit. I don't know how you watch all of Max Christie's games with Dallas and think, meh. I know he had an off night tonight, but I think Max Christie, you give him a starting role, he can put up 20 a night and be a lockdown wing defender and a guy that gets you 5 rebounds, 5 assists a game. I feel really good about Max Christie. I don't think Max Christie alone is going to be good enough to help make up for the current or seeming lack of a future once Anthony Davis and Kyrie age out a little bit. The Mavs are going to have to get some free agents. They're going to have to draft well. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But that is what the Mavs are going to have to do in a few years. You've got about a 3 or 4 year window here. 3 or 4 year window. And look, who knows what Luka is going to end up doing? I know everybody is throwing out, the 10, the 15-year timeline. Luka's 25 years old. You think he's going to be hooping like this at 40? I don't think so. I could see 10 years. I could see Luka from 25 to 35 continuing somewhat along this level of dominance. But I think Luka towards the mid-30s range, you may start to see a decline. And I don't even know if Luka is going to play that long. Luka, I think, has been on record. They've kind of asked him in so many words, like, Luka, do you want to play as long as LeBron? And he's like, no. So I don't even know if Luka wants to play long-term in this league. In my estimation, I think you've got about 7 or 8 elite years with Luka left. 7 or 8. I'm going to go 8, be a little generous. 33, 34. I don't know if Luka is going to be the same player as what he is right now. It kind of depends on his choices and what he wants to do, what he ends up doing with his body. Look, I know that a lot's been made of his conditioning. LeBron has been able to play as long as he has because he is an elite athlete, probably the most elite athlete in terms of maintenance, the all-around package in the league. I mean, are there players that have more hops than him that are technically more athletic? Sure. But to do it at the age that LeBron is at, I don't think there's anything like it that I've ever seen. I don't think that's going to be Luka in his upper 30s. I think that Luka is going to have this kind of success for 8, maybe 9 more years. I think once you get to 10 and beyond, we'll see. Luka, 35 years old. I mean, look, 35, still young. Not going to hate on 35. That's about where I'm at. Still young, but for basketball and for sports in general, you're getting up there when you're running around with the 20-somethings and some of the teenagers that are making their way into the league after the one and done. We'll see. I'll be interested. That's for sure. Luka doesn't rely on athleticism like LeBron does, though. Nevertheless, I mean, even if you want to make the argument about Luka, how he doesn't have to rely on athleticism, it only gets slower as you get older. Like, you're only going to get slower. And Luka is twitchy right now. He can stop on a dime. Luka is athletic in his own right. Again, when he's 35 years old, what's that going to look like? I don't know how gracefully Luka is going to age. I'm not saying he flames out at 30, but 33, 34, 35, I'm not sure what that looks like. If I had to bet on it, I'm betting he's probably starting to slow down around that time. Still, it's a bigger window than what you have with AD and Kyrie. I mean, don't get it twisted. The Mavs have 3-4 years after this one with AD and Kyrie. And I think after that, you're starting to get to a spot where both of them are past their primes and you got to find the next guy. So absolutely the Lakers have a bigger window. But we've seen with Luka, you got to put pieces around him. I don't think Austin Reeves is enough when LeBron eventually does retire and call it a career. Maybe if you can go out and get one other person, if you've got next year, you want to run it back with LeBron and you've got Luka, LeBron, Austin, you want to add one other piece. But I think the Lakers need a big man. That's going to be priority number one. And I think what you've seen, Mavs fans, you know this, Luka, he needs help. Luka cannot do it all by himself. Even with Luka and Kyrie, they fell short. Luka needs pieces around him. He needs shot makers. The Lakers have got to surround him with quality talent. I don't think the Lakers currently constructed are going to win a chip. I think they've got to add in the offseason, and we'll see if Luka signs there. That's the other thing I think that a lot of people maybe are forgetting about. Luka doesn't have to sign in LA. Maybe you can assume that he's going to, but I think they've got to show that this is a place that he's going to be able to win long term. Maybe it's a foregone conclusion, but Luka could easily pack his bags and go somewhere else as well. We're talking about Kyrie opting out. Luka don't have to stay in LA. I think he's a big enough brand at this point. Clearly, playing for the Lakers is a big deal. We're not going to underscore that or make it seem like it's not. But Luka can go to a lot of different places and still be the face of the league if he wants to be. We'll see what he ends up doing. I'm really curious. What does Kyrie do after this season? Does Luka hang around? Maybe those are foregone conclusions, but the NBA offseason drama is always peak. Luka Magic is special, but we remember the greats, how their bodies broke down. I'm not going to wish that upon Luka at all, but I will say this. The people that are saying 10 years, 15 years, I don't think so. I think you got about 7 or 8 really good years left with Luka. Once he hits 34, 35, I think it's going to start to get a little bit dicey, a little bit iffy. We keep going. I think we're just about done. I think I made it through as many comments as I could. Let me get back to YouTube, see if I missed anything. I think I'm good on YouTube as well. Good game tonight. Did not expect it to go as well as it did with the Mavs with an opportunity to win. Again, if you're a Mavs fan, I think you got to feel really, really good about what the Mavs were able to do in LA tonight. Give me Anthony Davis, D Live, and Daniel Gafford fully healthy against this Lakers team. I love my chances. Love the Mavs chances. We'll see y'all back tomorrow night if you want to come hang out and talk Texas Rangers baseball. If not, I'll probably be back Thursday to talk about the Mavs versus the Hornets. See if the Mavs can get back on track with the dub Thursday night. And then after that, we'll see what's next. The Mavericks looks like they will have, after their game against the Hornets, they got Milwaukee on Saturday. So we got a few games this week. So we'll be back talking Mavs basketball after Thursday's game and after Saturday's game against Milwaukee Monday. So every other day, we got a nice little slate coming up here. That's good stuff. Every other day until, wow, it's a long time. Mavs pretty much, they don't have a 2-day break until after Sunday, March 16th. So they play every other day or back-to-back until Sunday, March 16th. Then they get a Monday and Tuesday off before they have to go play Indiana at Indiana. So Mavs basketball every other day, or in the case of the back-to-back, every day. Actually, it's not a back-to-back. They just play San Antonio 2 games in a row. So basketball every other day for Dallas until March 16th. Gotta love it if you're a Mavs fan. Gotta love it. Hey, appreciate everybody that followed while we were live tonight. Look, we talk Mavs, but obviously I like talking hoops in general. I don't proclaim to be an expert on every team, but I do watch a lot of Mavs basketball. I try to keep it a little bit more reaction, maybe a little X's and O's weaved in, but I'm not basketball XO guru here, so don't take it the wrong way. We love breaking down those things here, but we try and keep it light on the show. There's a lot other content out there if you're looking for some deeper breakdowns on defensive schemes and offensive schemes out there, which I think are great, by the way. But we keep it light here at Right On Rangers, talking Dallas Mavericks basketball. And I appreciate all the comments tonight. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for everybody that chimed in. Great to hear from y'all. Looking forward to the game Thursday. Come back and hang out. I'll be live tomorrow as well. Not talking Mavs, talking Texas Rangers. PJ did kill us tonight. Totally agree. Yeah, seriously. He did. 0 for 9, was he? Oof. 0 for 9. My goodness. It can only get better on Thursday for PJ. That's for sure. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Hope y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Good Wednesday tomorrow. And as I always say to end every show, God bless. Go Mavs.